ברשות מורי ורבותיי, we are up to Shemuel א', פרק ד'. The fourth פרק. בله, יכול להיות מיד כשמואל, the first פרק was talking about the birth of Shemuel. Then we went to the second פרק, which was the praise of Tefillah of Hannah, the mother of Shemuel, right? And by the end of it, it talks about that she brought Shemuel to Eli, and he grew there and became a mensch, basically serving Eli. Then last parak we had the first time that Hashem talked to Shemuel. I remember it was 3 times calling him. He thought it's Eli. He kept going to Eli, waking up Eli. Eli said, "No, it's not me." By the end, Hashem tells him about a tragedy that is becoming to Eli and his family because of his children. His children were not behaving good. We talked about a few things that they were doing wrong. And Shemuel heard Hashem told him in the dream at night that what the tragedy will come, and Eli made him promise to say everything to him, and he said it, and he accepted the judgment. Now we're going to go to the fourth parak to show. بله. When whoever is closer to Hashem, Hashem is very more sensitive about him, right? And has to be more careful. The closer you are to the king's palace, right, and to the king's throne, the more punishment you could get if you do things.
Fire, it's a better chance to burn.
Mm-hmm. That's it. So Eli was a very good leader, was a very spiritual man, was Kohen Gadol. But since he didn't punish his children, he didn't stop them, he got punished very severely. Okay. So Perek Dalet starts with Vayihi Devar Shemuel lechol Israel. It was the word of Shemuel to the whole Israel. As we said, Shemuel was getting very famous, becoming a famous Navi. Everyone believed him. And this is what prophecy he gave to go fight the Palestinians. Vayetze Israel likrat Palestine. So, as Radak said, Shemuel ordered the Jewish people to go fight for the Palestinians, even though he knew they're going to lose. But he said, Hashem said so, you go do it. He didn't tell them they're going to lose, but just tell them Hashem said, go fight. Right? He knew they're going to lose, and he knew this part of the punishment. The punishment was not only for Eli and his family, for the whole Kahal Israel. They were also doing things wrong. This is one of the reasons that Micha's idols were still there around. No one did anything about it. Right? His thing was open, his church. No, this is right after that. This is okay. Still, he was there all the way until the time of David, Chandin Sal. Right? So many years was there. Okay.
And didn't do anything.
No one did anything. Okay. Vayetze Israel likrat Palestine lemilchama. That was one of the things. The other things they did wrong also. Vayechanu al Even HaEzer. So they went and they camped on a place called Even HaEzer. Later on, the book is going to tell us why is this place called Even HaEzer. Upelishtim chanu be'afek. The Palestinians, they camped in Afek, ready for war. So what happens? Vayaruchu Palestine likrat Israel. So they wage a war. The Palestinians they wage war against Israel. They went against Israel. Vayitosh hamilchama. The war spread. God spread it around. When he gave Israel lifnei Palestine, and the Israel, the Jewish people, they got plagued in front of the Palestinians. They got heat. Ve'aku b'ma'aracha b'asadeh. They killed in the field, the battlefield. Ke'arba alafim ish, like 4,000 people. Okay, this is just the beginning. First day, 4,000 people died, Jewish people, and they went back. That's right. The people came to the camp, came back to the camp. Why did Hashem smite us? Why did Hashem afflicted us? Kill us, lifnei Palestine, in front of the Palestine. So what did they do? Wrong decision. V'nikecha eleinu mishilo et Aaron berit Hashem. Let us go take from Shiloh Aaron. The Aaron is the box that the Torah was there, the Luchot was there, right? And there is a cherubim on top of it. It's in Kodesh HaKodashim in Shiloh. He said, oh, let's go take it. Take it with us. Where to war? Right? By Yavo Bekirbeinu, and it should come in among us. They figured, they bring Aaron, Hashem is going to come with them. Right? The Shekhinah is with them. Now no one could harm them. And he's going to save us from the hand of our enemies. Okay, so couple of mistakes we could see here. First of all, they didn't even ask. They just decided on their own. We're going to take the Aaron. Right? Who told them they are allowed to take the Aaron to the other Beit HaMikdash? Right? Time of Midbar, okay, the Aaron used to go with them. Right? So that was they were traveling. And it says Aaron used to go in front of them. Okay, fine. But here, who gave you permission to it? Second of all, okay, you lost, you have to do what? Teshuvah, like what we saw in the Givah, Pelegish Begivah. What happened? The people lost, they went, they did Teshuvah. Once they did Teshuvah, the time was already the third day, the third time they won. What happened? Instead of doing Teshuvah, no, let's go take the Aaron. Okay, so the Mefarshim say, they bring this point here, that it's not the Aaron, it's not what is written in it. It's what is not the fact that there is a Sefer the Torah there. There's the fact that you have to do it. If you're not keeping it, what's the point of having it? Having with you. Okay, I have a Sefer Torah with me, so what? If you're not keeping it, it's not going to protect you. So therefore, they took the Aaron with them. Vayishlach am Shiloh, they sent the messengers to Shiloh. Vayis'u misham et Aaron, they carried from there Aaron berit Hashem Sebaot. Right here we see again Sebaot. Hashem Sebaot, Hashem that the God of legions. Why it says here Sebaot? Because it wants to say that Hashem is controlling everything. Even this, Hashem was controlling, put it in their heads. Hashem wanted this to happen. The Aaron to go out. We'll see why. Okay? Everything Hashem controls. Even bad things, good things, whatever happens in the world, it's the hand of Hashem. Hashem Sebaot. Yosheva Kerubim. Right? It says Yosheva Kerubim because this is the Aaron that had the Kerubim on it, because there is opinions that there were two Aarons. Right? One was the broken Luchot in it, one was the real. No, two. One was, according to some opinions, only one. Broken Luchot, in Gemara says the Luchot, the broken Luchot, the Sefer, everything was in one Aaron. According to the other opinion, there was two Aarons. But this is the one as Yoshev Kerubim wants to say that this is the main one that had the Kerubim on. Right? Hashem. Vesham Shnei Bnei Eli, and over there again this mentions the two Bnei Eli. Im Aaron, with the Aaron. What does it mean? They went and they carried it out. The two sons of Eli went and they brought the Aaron out. Right? Im Aaron Berit Elokim, Chofni Pinchas. Usually the Aaron was carried in Midbar with 4 Leviim. And one time we had that the Kohanim carried it. Remember when they were crossing the river? Here, two Kohanim are carrying the Aaron. Okay? Mr. Heroes. Who? Chofni and Pinchas. They thought they were doing the right thing. Even though the Aaron, if you want to imagine, it would be very, very, very heavy. But Aaron didn't have any weight. Why? Because he carried himself, he even carried the ones who carried it. So that's why the two people were able even to carry it. We saw that by the crossing the river, that Aaron carried the Kohanim. It made them fly over the river. Okay? ויהי כבוא אהרון ברית השם אל המחנה. Once they brought the Aaron ברית השם to the camp, to the war camp. ויריעו כל ישראל תרועה גדולה. The Bnei Israel, they made a teruah. Teruah is the sound of a shofar. Right? Big teruah. They blow shofar. But tehom haaretz was so much that the whole land was shaking. Imagine like a very scary situation for the enemy. They hear this loud voice of shofar and the earth is shaking and like something is going on. וישמעו פלשתים את כל התרועה ויאמרו מה כל התרועה הגדולה הזאת. The Palestinians, they heard the voice of the teruah and they said, what is this blowing a shofar, this loud blowing shofar that we hear? במחנה העברים, in the camp of the Jewish people. וידעו כי אהרון השם בא אל המחנה. They knew, they found out that Aaron Hashem came to the Machane. Very interesting that they got very scared. ויראו הפלשתים. They got scared. Oh, they saw that Aaron is there. They figured that's it, they finished. כי אמרו בא אלוהים אל המחנה. They thought, they said their God came to the Machane. ויאמרו אוי לנו כי לא הייתה כזאת אתמול שמשון. They said, wow, to us, because this never happened to us. That yesterday, the day before, it was never like this, to go fight, right? They figured they have to fight the Hashem. Their God is there. Shilshom is the day before yesterday. Parirus, the first. אוי לנו, מי יצילנו מיד האלוהים האדירים האלה? Look how they were fearing Hashem. They said, woe to us, who's going to save us from the hand of this mighty God? אליהם אלוהים המקים את מצרים. They knew history too. This is the God that hit the Misraim b'chol Makkah b'midbar, with all the plagues that is in the desert. All these 10 plagues, they knew about it. Okay, after all this, they still didn't give up, didn't run away. What happened? Hitchazeku, they said to themselves, okay, let's get strong. Vayula anashim, become a man, be a man. Palestine, they're talking to them, so Palestine. Pen ta'avdu le'ivrim kasher avdu lachem. If not, you're going to have to serve the Jewish people the same way they served you. Right? Now, instead of them being our slave, we're going to be their slave. Let's be a man and fight. Right? That's it. When Hashem wants, that happens. Otherwise, from the fear, they would have run away. but Hashem didn't want it. Well, Palestine, this was a very big disaster that was waiting to come. That's what the prophecy was, that whoever hears this, his ears gonna ring. That's the disaster that was talking about this day. One of the biggest tragedies that happened. While Chamu Palestine Baina Gef Israel, the Palestine they thought they rage a war and they smite the Jewish people by Yanusu Ish Le'olav. The Jewish people they started running to their homes. ותהי המכה הגדולה מאוד. And the smith was very big. ויפול מישראל 30,000 רגלי. 30,000 people died in that day. So in one war, 34,000 people. 30,000 the second day, first day 4,000. 34,000 people died. And that's not all. V'Aaron Elokim nilkach, and the Aaron of Hashem was taken.
Wow.
Imagine the Palestinians have hold the Aaron that Basalel made last week.
Basalel.
Right? The Luchot Moshe brings this week. This week's this parasha, the Luchot, he brings the Luchot. They were in this Aaron. From Luchot that Moshe brought from Shamayim. Imagine that in hands of enemy. Can you imagine the disaster? Ushne bnei Eli metu. And the two sons of Eli died in the war. Chofni uPinchas. Okay, Chofni and Pinchas. That was part of the prophecy that they both going to die in one day, and that's it. Happened.
ببینم چجوری اینا ارون رو بلند کردن فلسطینی‌ها.
Probably.
We know it that it hovered, so it was heavy.
It was heavy, but could be they had from Rashi Mashma that Goliath was there too in the war. They had the giants. He was the one that was holding on to the arrow. We'll see. Rashi is going to. Vayaratz Ish Binyamin Mehamarecha Vayovoshilo. One man from Binyamin. Who is that? Shaul, the next king. Look at Rashi. Ze Shaul. Okay. שחטף את הלוחות מיד גוליית וברח לו. So according to Rashi goes with the midrash that says Shaul grabbed the luchot from the hand of Goliath and ran. Radak brings this and he says, brings this midrash and then says, "V'rachoku." It's impossible. Rachok is far. Far from imagination. It's impossible to say such a thing. What? שיוצא אדם את הלוחות מהארון. Anyone is allowed to take the luchot out of the Aaron? Who's allowed to touch it? Okay? שהרי כמה נוגעים וכמה רעות באו לפלשתים מקדושת הארון. We'll see later on that how much troubles and disease came to the Philistines because of kedushat Aaron. בהיותו בארץ פלשתים לבד. כל שכן שאם שלח שלחו יד בו. If anyone touches it, forget about it. We remember this. There's a story also when David was bringing the Aaron back. Someone touched the Aaron and died. Right? The cows were shaking and he touched it.
Yeah, there
He
was
died.
a movie also.
Yeah. So.
And they touched it, they died.
Mm-hmm. So basically, Radak completely rejects this. He says there's no such a, it cannot be that someone would be able to touch the luchot. גם אנשי בית שמש, we'll see later on, אנשי בית שמש, just by looking at Aaron they die. Even Jewish people they looked at Aaron. How could it be? Okay, but anyhow, this man, which is Shaul, he was a young man. He was one of the soldiers. He ran away. ויורס איש בנימין ממערכה from the battlefield, he ran away. ויבוא שילה, he came to Shiloh. ביום ההוא, on that day, ומדיו קרועים, and his clothing were torn. ואדמה על ראשו, and he had earth on his head.
Earth?
Yeah, חק ראשו his head.
Mourning.
Why? Because,
It was morning.
yeah, because that's what happened. He was mourning.
عزا گرفته.
That's right. ויבוא
این که همه رو گرفته بوده خودش شاول همه رو که گرفته بوده شاول
چی رو گرفته بوده؟
هارونا
نه Aaron the Palestinian had. And again, according to Rashid, brings the midrash that he had the luchot, but then Radak rejects it. He didn't have anything, according to Radak. Just came, run away from the war.
پس که میگفتن پس از دست گلیاد نگرفت و فرار کنه باهاش.
That was opinion of Rashid. It's a midrash.
Over here there's another midrash که وقتی برمیگرده با لوخوت دوباره فلسطینی‌ها میان شیلو لوخوتو
They destroy Shiloh.
برمیدارن میرن.
That's that's a continuation of that midrash. But anyhow, Radak says the whole thing is impossible because you cannot even touch the luchot without being in Aaron. No one is allowed to touch it. Okay.
Sapphire. It's very heavy.
It has nothing to do with the weight also. It's so holy. If someone touches it, they die.
خب چرا فلسطینیان هم مردن وقتی دست دادن به آرون؟
مریضی گرفتن دیگه.
Yeah, we'll see. They're gonna start dying.
نمردن ولی
همون موقع Hashem wanted them. These are all plans of Hashem. That's why he say Hashem Sabaoth. Plans of Hashem. He wanted to teach the people, listen. Oh, you're just doing whatever you want. You're thinking, oh, Aaron is going to protect us. Right? Okay, here. Aaron is gone. You will see next perek, the Jewish life without Aaron. ויבוא והנה Eli יושב על כיסא, and he came, and Eli was sitting on a chair, יד דרך, by the road, מספק, he was waiting, כי היה ליבו חרד על אהרון אלוהים, because his heart was fearful, דל שור מזד, right? His heart was fearful from Aaron of Hashem, because he saw they taking Aaron in the war. והאיש, he was very, very old also, 98 years old. והאיש בא להגיד בעיר, and
چی گفتید
this
شما چی گفتید که یانگ از بین رفته؟
Eli, no,
نه نسل‌های بعدیشون.
بچه‌هاش
بچه‌هاش نه بهاش והאיש בא להגיד בעיר, that man, that young man came and gave the news in the town, but his act called ha'ir, and the whole town was screaming, crying out, right? To hear that Aaron was taken is such a horrible thing. וישמע אלי את כל הצעקה, Eli heard the voice of the screaming, ויאמר מה כל ההמון הזה אשר ההמון הזה, what is this outcry voice, right? What is this commotion that I hear? והאיש מיהר ויבוא ויגיד לאלי, and that man hurried up and came to tell Eli. ואלי בן 98 שנה, here he was 98 years old, Eli. ועיניו קמה, and his eyes were motionless, was stopped seeing. ולא יכול לראות, he couldn't see. ויאמר, so he couldn't see the guy is like, his clothing is torn and he's mourning, he couldn't see what's going on.
و بچه‌هاش نرفته بود دیگه.
الان بهش میگه one by one. ויאמר האיש אל עלי אנוכי בא מן המערכה. So he told him, I'm coming from the battlefield, فأني من معرخان است. I run away from the battlefield. היום am today. ויאמר מה היה דבר בני? And Eli told him what happened there, my son. ויען המבשר, the one that's giving the news, told him, ויאמר נס ישראל לפני פלשתים. He's giving him slowly the news, not trying not to shock him. Right? First he said, Bnei Israel started running away. Okay, that part he could take. וגם מגפה גדולה הייתה בעם, and was a lot of casualties. I told him a lot of people died. Okay, war. Right? וגם שני בניך מתו. So he told him, two of your sons died. Your two sons died. Right? So far, he is accepting it because he already knew from the prophecy. Okay, he knew this is going to happen. Chofni uPinchas. Now, this part he didn't know. V'Aaron Elohim nilkacha, and the Aaron of Hashem was taken. V'hi kazkiro et Aaron Elohim, once he mentioned the news about the Aaron of Hashem, ויפול מעל כיסא החרונית. He fell backwards. He fell backwards from the chair. בעד יד השער, by the gate of the town. ותשבר מרכבתו, and his neck broke. וימות, and he died. כי זקן האיש בכבד, because he was very old and heavy. והוא שפט את ישראל 40 שנה, and he judged Bnei Israel 40 years. So 40 years he was a Kohen Gadol, he was judging, he was the Shofet. So you see, from here you see that Eli is one of the Shoftim, even though he was in the middle of the transaction. He's already not in the book of Shoftim, he's in the book of Shemuel, but still they didn't have king, so called him Shofet. 40 years he served Bnei Israel, and then what happened? From the news, he fell back from the knees of the Aaron. That's how he died. That was his punishment. וכלתו אשת פנחס hara ללדת, and his Kala, his daughter-in-law, the wife of Pinchas, one of the sons that died. She was pregnant, ready to give birth. ותשמע את השמועה. Now she heard the news. Imagine pregnant ladies hearing all these things. את הלקח אהרון האלוקים, that the fact that the Aaron האלוקים was taken, ומת חמיה ואישה, and she also heard that her father-in-law and her husband died. Everything she had lost. ותכרע ותלד, and she crouched down to give birth. Right, from the shocking news already, the baby came out. All her troubles, labor pains came upon her. Everything, like a shocking news, shocked her. So all the pain came upon her. Uke'ed mota, when she was dying, because of this she died from giving birth. ותדברנה הנסבות עליה, and the people who were around her, they told her, they were talking to her, אל תראי כי בן ילד. Don't be scared because you're giving birth to a boy. Right? Why? This is the same like Leah. No, Rachel. Rachel was dying, and they said, oh, don't be afraid, this is a boy. That's a nechama. Right? She wanted a boy. Here also, when she heard that her husband died, and she was shocked, they're trying to give her a nechama. Okay, you have a boy, to calm her down. Some good news. But didn't help. Right? Velo anta velo shata liba. And she didn't answer and didn't pay attention. ותקרא לנער כבוד. She called the boy. Kavod means no kavod. There is no kavod. Right? Our kavod is gone. Our right? Ehtaram, right? Our kavod, our glory is gone. The Aaron that's gone, that was the glory of the Ben Israel. That's gone. Lemor, Gala Kavod Israel, to say the glory has gone from Israel. El halakach Aaron Elohim, because the Aaron of Elohim was taken. Ve'el Chamia ve'Isha, and her father-in-law and her husband died. That's what is the kavod about them. This is also Torah She'Ba'al Peh. Torah She'Bichtav gone, Torah She'Ba'al Peh gone. Eli is, was the leader. Her son was the chief Kohen, her husband. Okay, and also from there they say Shiloh was destroyed after this incident, and that's where the hint is when Binyamin and Yosef meet, right? Yosef cries on Binyamin's two sides of his neck for the two Beit HaMikdash, and Binyamin cried on the one neck of Yosef. What was it? Because of the Shiloh that gets destroyed because of this. Because again, after that, it doesn't say anywhere, but the Mefarshim says the Palestinians came and destroyed the Shiloh.
اینجا خودش میزاد ولی میمیره گفتی؟
Yes.
پس چجوری اسم میذاره و اینا؟
قبل از که میمیره همون موقع که داشته میمرده اسمشو میذاره. بهش گفتن already she was still alive. They told her he's a boy. She called him a name. That Kavod. Okay, and Shemuel at this point was 41 years old. He is the next leader.
What happened?
Right? He's the next leader, and he was 41 years old at this point.
When he ran back, he was 41 years old. Shaul?
No, not Shaul. Shemuel Hanavi. He's the once Eli passed away. He's the next shofet, next leader. He's also considered Navi and shofet. Okay, but Omer, Kala Kavod Meisrael, she said, the glory has went to Galut from Israel, went to exile. Ki nilkach Aaron Elokim, because Aaron Elokim was taken. So her main concern was again the Aaron, even more than her husband dying. Okay, so that's the tragedy that
What
happened.
happened to Shaul?
He just came